Sean, when you think back to 2000, that quarter-final England v Ireland, what do you recall of the game?
I just remember going into the game thinking it was going to be a tough game. There was a lot of hype about the game as well because Ireland had a really strong team. You know, there was Sheridan playing and Barry and Terry, Chris Joynt, Tommy Martin, and then they had a sprinkle of Australians in there like Luke Rickson and stuff like that. So there's a lot of hype about it. You know, it was nearly a sellout at Headingley, which was a good crowd and that. It's always intense. And what I remember about it is that we got off to a decent start, we got off to a quick start, and I think we scored a try, but we bombed a couple of chances after about 15 minutes and then let Ireland back into it. And a really quick, high tempo, physical game, and Ireland got back into it. I think Tommy Martin scored, and then they scored again off a kick, and you know, we was flapping a bit. We got worried at one point, and we was thinking like, it's all on here. And it's weird when you're playing against your teammates as well. You know, because you train with them, but you don't actually play with them. When to play against like Chris Joynt and Tommy Martin, you know, you realise how good they was when you're playing against them. So it was good, and then luckily, I think we hung in there and we kicked a few penalties and that, and we only really pulled away in the last 20 minutes. It was touch and go for a while, and even when we scored, I think I set up a try in the second half. Even when we scored, Ireland came back at us and they had a few chances at which they bombed, and we managed to hold on.
And the game in itself, because you mentioned there that you're playing against your Saints teammates, and there was Leeds rivalries in there, there was Wigan rivalries against each other. It kind of had a feel a bit like our version of a State of Origin back then.
Yeah, it was massive, and like I spoke about there was a lot of like Sheridan playing against Keith and Barry playing against, you know, some other players, and Terry playing against some Wigan lads, and I think Andy Farrell played, Chev played for England. It was a good hit out, and to actually play against, you know, when something means something so much, like to get into a World Cup semi-final, it was full on. It was really physical. What I remember of it, and it was quite boggy a little bit, the pitch, and couldn't really get going a little bit, and took a few cracks myself, but it was full on. But I just remember it being really quick, and even though the ground was quite heavy, the skill level was quite to an high level, I thought, and like I say, it was touch and go for a while, and you know, we managed to hold on, I think.
And of course, it was a home World Cup for England, as it will be in 2021. Do you remember feeling extra pressure to get that win on home soil?
Yeah, it was huge. It was massive that England got to the semis. Ideally, we'd like to got to the final, but we got pumped against New Zealand in the semi-final, which I do remember quite a lot of. But I think England need to, and there was a lot of pressure on us. We went away to Florida for a World Camp, and there was a lot of pressure on us when we came back into the country that we performed, and we didn't hit the ground running really. We got beat against Australia. I think it might have been at Twickenham, but you know, we knew that if we hung in there, we trained and we played, we could have a crack at it. And like I said, we managed to beat Ireland, but only just. You know, Ireland had a good team, and unfortunately we didn't make the final, which was a bit disappointing really, because you know, we wanted to make that final.
And that World Cup experience for you came fairly early on in your career, but it just shows that when World Cups come along, players have to seize the opportunity. You don't know what's going to come on down the line.
Yeah, well, you know, I was really fortunate I got selected, and there was a few young lads in there. Chev Walker played as well. He had a good series, that Chev, in that game, in that tournament. So it's vital, you know, lads. When you're a young kid, you get the opportunity to take it, and you know, I did all right. I think there's a few other lads what played really well in that series as well. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but because everyone will be putting the best team forward. You know, the Samoans and Tonga, you know, England, New Zealand, Australia, and I think Lebanon's got a good team as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they go. But there is a lot of added pressure, but they just got to take it with both hands.
And Ireland are based at Headingley again in this World Cup. They're playing Jamaica and they're playing New Zealand. There could be some other good nights coming up later in the year, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and fingers crossed the crowds get back in as well for that. You know, it's an amazing playing for your country, and to play it into a full house as well. I think the fans will be ready to watch a good game of rugby, and if the crowds get back for that, that'd be fantastic. And like I said, the intensity goes up another level when you actually play in internationals. You know, the normal games in the season are intense, but when you get to World Cup, they're a different level, and you just got to go with that.
And you know, from presumably speaking to your teammates when you got back to Saints later in the year, how much it meant to people like Chris Joynt and Tommy Martin to pull on that Irish jersey, and the next generation of players who are playing this World Cup will probably have the same feelings.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, Tommy, they was gunning for us. They wanted to beat England, and that's rightly so. They're playing England on their own patch, and they was gunning for us, and you know, you could tell that they wanted it, and that's why they fought till the end. But luckily for us, we hung on. But everyone wants to knock off England, isn't they, when you're playing against them? So it's up to them to defend that game.